These sparkly, rock-hard shampoo bars star two trending natural ingredients with long histories in hair care: castor oil and rice. These two inexpensive ingredients are said to help strengthen the hair, boost growth, and improve hair health, so including them in a shampoo bar felt like a no-brainer. Now, these bars are fast and easy to make, don't require any fancy equipment, and make amazing gifts. I'm going to share my formulation for free, so let's get started. Before we can start making, you'll need a few pieces of equipment. If you've done much DIYing, you'll probably have most of it already: a digital scale, a bowl, some spoons, and some smaller bowls to weigh ingredients into. But you'll also need two specific pieces of equipment that you might not already have if you're a newer maker. You'll need a pair of nitrile gloves so you can really get in there and squish stuff together. And to protect your lungs and prevent seriously unpleasant coughing fits, you need a tight-fitting respirator that seals well on your face. Okay, now that we are gloved and masked up, we can get to the making and weigh out the dry phase of this shampoo bar. We're going to mix up a 300-gram batch today, which will make 5 60-gram shampoo bars. Our first ingredient is where the rice goodness comes from. Rice water hair rinses have a long history of use in Asia and are loved by many today as a way to boost hair strength and growth. Rice water is made by soaking rice in water and then using that water to rinse the hair. But knowing me, I would be soaking wet in the shower every single time I remembered I was supposed to grab that container of rice water from the fridge. So instead, this shampoo bar contains a good dose of rice flour. A shampoo bar with rice flour isn't the same thing as a rice water rinse, of course, but it's got the same component ingredients: rice and water from the shower. And you're probably not going to forget it in your fridge. You'll need 51.75 grams fine rice flour. It should be silky smooth like cornstarch. Up next, the bubbles. I'm using a blend of two of my favorite sulfate-free surfactants. They create gorgeous, dense, velvety lather. I'm a big fan. You'll need 105 grams of sodium cocoyl isethionate and 75 grams of sodium lauryl sulfoacetate, also known as SLSa. Make sure you're using finely powdered versions of both. Before we carry on, a quick word of warning about SLSa. Not all SLSa is the same. This is an ingredient where quality really matters. It's easy to pick up a cheap bag of it on Amazon, but there's a good chance that won't work in this formulation. I've heard tales of shampoo bars made with Amazon SLSa that simply never get hard. They stay soft, crumbly, and useless, and even SLSa that doesn't lather. The SLSa I'm using is Stepan's Lathanol LAL, and it's what most good DIY supply shops sell. I've linked to several places to purchase it around the world in the free partner blog post. Our final dry ingredient pulls the pH down to a good for the hair level. You'll need 0.25 grams of citric acid. Up next, our wet phase. This is what turns all those dry powders into a workable, shapeable dough. To round out the surfactant blend, make the finished shampoo bar milder, and boost the bubbles, you'll need 31.5 grams Cocamidopropyl Betaine. I was inspired to include this next ingredient by the live ingredient list analysis session we did over on Patreon for the Kitsch Castor Oil shampoo and conditioner bars back in October 2024. The ingredient list for the shampoo bar was short and sweet, but I was intrigued by the blend of shine amplifying panthenol, strengthening hydrolyzed quinoa, density boosting pea extract, and moisturizing hyaluronic acid in the conditioner bar. It turns out those ingredients are all part of an ingredient called Fision HydraTress, and I happen to have some, so I had to include it in this shampoo bar. You'll need 15 grams. If you don't have HydraTress, you can easily swap it out. I have discussed several alternatives in the free partner blog post. Up next, I chose this ingredient after deciding to include HydraTress because I had those Kitsch bars on the brain: castor oil. This rich oil is really trending in hair care right now, but it's certainly not a new hair care ingredient. It's probably a stretch to say it'll boost hair growth in a rinse-off product, but it does help make the shampoo gentler and easier on your hair, and there's some undeniable label appeal too. You'll need 14.7 grams. Now, I find castor oil is quite prone to going rancid, so you'll also need 0.3 grams of vitamin E, an antioxidant, to help extend its shelf life. 3 grams of Optiphen Plus wards off mold. And lastly, 3 grams of a fragrance or essential oil makes the bars smell divine. I'm using Unbroken from Stock Fragrance because I am obsessed with how it smells. It's both fresh and juicy, but not really fruity. It's great, but you could definitely use something else. Just be sure it's approved for use at 1% in IFRA Category 7A products. To make these bars, begin by dumping the powders into a bowl and stirring to break up any clumps. Up next, make a well in the center, just like if you were making fresh pasta, and pour in the liquids. If you're not already wearing your gloves, put them on now and then get in there with your hands. Smoosh, knead, mash, and squeeze everything together like a kid with Play-Doh. If you're at the point in your shampoo bar making journey where you'd like to break away from following formulations like this one and start formulating your own, please check out my shampoo bar workshop. In it, I teach you how to formulate rock-hard shampoo bars for any hair type from the ground up. There's a link in the description box below if you'd like to learn more and sign up. Once you've got a smooth, workable dough, it's time to shape the bars before we leave them to age. You can shape them by hand like this if you want, but I'm going to do something a bit more fancy. These bars are part of a series of white and gold formulations I'm making for Christmas gifts. They're very white, so we definitely need some gold. This is purely decorative, so you can skip it if you want to, but I sure think it's pretty. I'm going to use this little hand press from Yellow Bee to shape the bars and sprinkle the top and bottom of the mold with a bit of gold biodegradable glitter before pressing the bars. You can also press the bars into a measuring cup to shape them. You'd want to line the bottom with a round of parchment paper, just as I did with the hand press I used. Once you've shaped your bars, you can tidy them up a bit while they're still soft, and then leave them to dry and get nice and hard for 3 to 5 days before using or gifting. Looking for something else to do with the ingredients? Check out this fun formulation next. It uses quite a few of the same ingredients, and I also just love it. So thank you so much for watching, and happy making. Bye!